Hi, welcome to the first episode of Happy Hour, where every Friday we get together and just get existential about life. Especially we talk about our experiences between different generations as well. I'm Elaine. I was born in 1997, which makes me Gen Z, and I'm 23 this year.
Hi, and I'm Wing. I was born in 1984, which by our definition, I'm still a millennial, 35 this year.
Yeah. We also have an Instagram account, so at Waffles and Jams. We post a lot of astrology, gaming memes, and like a bunch of music recommendations as well. So definitely check us out on there. In this episode, today we're going to talk about gamer personalities. So, Wayne, if you could describe what the personality test is about.
Yeah, sure. So about a few months ago, we came across this model because we were writing a research paper on the future trends in gaming and esports. The model, it's a gamer motivation model developed by some guys called Quantic Foundry that combines psychometric methodology with a web-based application to provide insights about your gamer profile or gamer personality. Roughly speaking, it breaks down into three different what they call clusters: action, social, mastery, achievement, and immersion, creativity. So we took the test.
Yep.
And thought it would be interesting to share with everyone some of the results, especially because we are from different generations. We probably started off playing different games.
So after taking the test, my gamer motivation profile is apparently calm, analytical, relaxed, independent, deeply immersed, and expressive. And there are different aspects as well. So for me, I mostly drawn by games where I can be immersed in a different world, and also I like to be creative. So, for instance, Animal Crossing, just build my own house, decorate however I want to decorate it, and things like that.
Does a storyline matter then in the game?
Definitely. I mean, it does, but I'm not. I don't. It's not that I play a lot of games that have a storyline. I do enjoy them as well. Actually, recently I've been quite addicted to Fire Emblem. I've been kind of neglecting my Animal Crossing island because of that. So
Wow.
I think I'm gonna come back to a lot of weeds growing. Yeah. So how about you?
Yeah, for me, it's probably slightly different. I think two of the elements that really stood out from that survey was the social. So that's both in terms of competition and team building, as well as what they call mastery, which is basically overcoming challenges and strategy. So for me, a lot of the games I've played since I was younger were strategy or real-time strategy RTS games. And then gradually these days, because of life circumstances, because I have a daughter, so I cannot play on the console as much now, I've moved on as a more of a mobile gamer.
Yeah.
It probably suits me as well, because you don't need as fast of a reflex sometimes in those games. So yeah, I've moved on to more strategic games. Yes,
Parent brain.
Gamer dad now. So,
Yeah.
so I think that was what really stood out for me, and well, to be honest, gaming was quite a prevalent part of my life, because I moved to the UK when I was younger. At that time, I did actually spend a lot of time at home. So grew up with from Nintendo to the PS5 today or tomorrow. So it really was interesting to see it in more depth as to how it breaks down into really represents your personality.
Yeah, I grew up in the UK as well. Especially I went to full all girls. The all girls part is very important. All girls boarding school. There wasn't really much to do there. School was 9 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Pretty much like a work day. I even had Saturday school. So gaming back then was quite a big part of my life. I think that's why I'm drawn to games where I can immerse myself in a different world outside of the boarding school bubble. I like just a small confession. I did get a PSP. I'm not sure if you've played those before.
Yep.
Like, of course, the
Yep.
mobile aspect is really important, right? But I got a PSP just to play those Japanese dating games.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, where like you have this like a bunch of potential bachelors basically, and then you
Simulation.
yeah, and then you like interact with the different guys, and then you answer the way that you think they would like you to answer, if that makes sense. And then you have like different storylines depending on which one you follow. You end up with, you're the guy that you decide to pursue.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, that was
A bit of immersion as well.
yeah, for all girls boarding school. Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of different settings as well. So like in high school, you could be a Japanese high school living your anime fantasy. Also, like samurai setting, like back in like the Edo period, like ancient Japan. Yeah, so that was really fun.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I probably didn't play as many of those games, but but I do remember. I mean, to be honest, like gaming as a childhood, it was one of those vivid memories that stood out. Like watching a really good movie back in the days, you always remember it. So it is a big part of I guess how we spent our time. I do have a additional perspective in that I think there's a lot of learning that can come out of games. Gaming, developing a game, especially now we're in the industry of gaming, takes a lot of time. I mean, it takes a very dedicated group of people, maybe sometimes up to 3-4 years to come up with a good game, and they put a lot of thought into how to make it fun, engaging, and there's a lot of depth in it as well. So for me, that was always like playing strategy games. It teaches you how to think a couple of moves and a couple of moves ahead. Or even if it's like even if it's something fun like a sports game, it teaches you like social elements of when you're playing with your friends, how to take winning and losing not as seriously as you should. There's a bit of sporting element in that as well. So all in all, it's created a lot of fun memories. And now being much more involved in it on a from a venture or business side, it's been a great experience as well.
Nice. What would you say, do you remember the first game you ever played? Like, obviously digital, not like Monopoly.
Yeah, that's a good question. It will probably be something like, I want to say Tetris, but I don't think it's Tetris.
No, I mean, that kind of counts, because it's on the computer, online.
Oh, you're talking about console? Or?
I mean, no, it could be like PC. Mobile. I mean, no, PC would have been first, to be honest.
Probably something like Pac-Man. That would be my time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Pac-Man or one of the really early Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, yes.
There's that stage that everyone knows because,
I think,
yeah. How about you? Probably a bit more color in your games than when I started.
No, I mean, to be honest, because I was like raised in a very traditional family. I don't know, it's really weird to describe it that, but basically we didn't have a lot of tech stuff, even though there was already a lot of tech stuff around. So like I remember the first game I played, first mobile game I think, was those old Nokia phones?
Oh, snakes?
Snakes.
Yes,
snakes. And what was it? It's like the one that goes like
3210 Nokia.
Like and then like goes like pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Like the spaceship one. That was my favorite. On my mom's phone, because obviously I didn't have a phone at the time. I think I was 7. Yeah, that was probably my first mobile game.
I was playing snakes when I was in high school, so that shows the difference. You probably had a higher score than I did.
I don't remember anymore.
Was it the one where you can go through the walls, or the ones where you're confined to the?
Oh, it's confined.
Okay, so the old school. Okay, still the old version.
Yeah. Really old. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And when you compare that to now, I mean, it's what, maybe just under 20 years. Do you sometimes think about how much it's advanced?
Yes. Things now a lot more HD, 3D, color. um, Especially, I think most of my other friends who like are former gamers, they started out with the original Animal Crossing, right? If you guys remember it at all, and when they watched me play the New Horizons one recently, they were so impressed by how like HD it was basically. And yeah, like there's even a Nook phone. Very very impressive. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, for me, it obviously the graphics, audio, and the whole visual experience, but it is actually the evolution of the gameplay as well. So for me, again, because the social element was very important. Back in the days, the social element was going to someone's house and probably staying up all night playing, FIFA or whatever, Pro Evolution Soccer. But now it's online. So once I think that online element started, it really took off for me, in terms of you can get together with so many different people online playing, whether it's shooters or sports games or the strategy games, to the point where I think nearly every interaction I have now it's online. So for me, the gameplay has really evolved, and that's something I'm very excited about, in terms of the next generation of games, how they take that further and make a even more kind of immersive and fun gameplay for different types of games.
Yeah, because especially now we can download the games online, right? Back then, like for instance, the original Nintendo DS, you had to have those. You have to buy the games individually, like slot them, and then I still have like 2 boxes.
Oh, you still have them? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just realized that. I still have 2 boxes of just like all the game cards I've collected, and then just going through them, I realized I even have duplicate ones.
Right.
It's like, why did I buy 2 of the same game?
You just forget.
Yeah, I just completely forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely going digital has like made storage like a lot easier. So yeah.
Has it changed the way like you socialize with your friends who also enjoy games or gaming?
Oh, well, definitely with the online play element now. I mean, just as you mentioned before. Well, to be honest, I didn't realize it was possible with a Nintendo. Like, obviously, PC, like, since the internet started, it was always possible, but I'm not a PC gamer. So, my gaming is usually very solo. I just, Animal Crossing, just play by myself. But now with online play, I can trade stuff with other people. If you know Nookazon, the website, you can trade items with people you don't even know, because it's basically the Animal Crossing version of Amazon or like eBay. So yeah, that's definitely I feel like more of an adult doing those things. So definitely learning experience.
And a lot of your friends also play? Do you find that your friends also play this similar kind of type of games with you, or?
Well, apart from Animal Crossing, which is obviously just a huge trend since the pandemic started, I don't really, unfortunately, because originally I play a lot of single player games.
Right.
That comes from me, growing up in a boarding school when gaming wasn't really a thing amongst my friends, and even now, I think I'm more friends with former gamers. So sadly, I don't play as much with other people.
No, that's sometimes that's a good thing, because you can separate the competitiveness and the friendship. Yeah.
Have you ever lost friends from gaming?
Wow.
Or been to serious fights?
No, probably the most intense would be in university, because when you live together with people and the people come over. We would organize tournaments like cross flats tournaments,
inter-flat,
inter-flat tournament,
competitions.
Those would get pretty intense, and also because we were quite young then, and you get a bit you get a bit heated about whether it's playing games or playing sports or whatever. So nowadays a lot less. Although you do get quite frustrated when you go online, you have to be careful of these, like all the trash talkers online. Like most of them are probably like 13, 14 years old, and when you get beaten by some kid, you get a bit angry.
Yeah.
I get a bit angry, but you just have to face the fact that a lot of these games they're going to have an advantage because they have faster hand-eye coordination than a bit of old folks like us.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool. I still enjoy it. A lot of my friends actually still have continued their the gamer journey as well.
Oh, that's nice.
As games evolve, and it's a good pastime. It's a good pastime.
Nice.
So.
And that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed our first episode of Happy Hour. We'll leave the gamer motivation personality test in the description down below, and feel free to comment what your gamer profile is. And also we post every Fridays, so please subscribe if you want to listen more about our just different perspectives between different generations about just everything in life, like from relationships to job hunting to random food trends. So yeah, stay safe, and we hope to see you again next week.